if we're saying Man United won FA Cup, they must prove it wasn't by fluke. Good good team. Remember, for some time, we were thinking Man United is going to let Ten Hag go.
Yeah.
He put up his hand to say, no, guys, there's still a lot I can actually do for Man United. That's why he's on. Now we must prove why he's on.
Rasmus Højlund, thunderous. It's an absolute net buster. Rasmus.
Hello and welcome to the Diski preview show, everybody. That's what I expect to be like. Boo, 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 boo. We're back again for a second episode this week. Obviously, previous episode we were talking all things local soccer. If you missed that one, make sure to click up on the banner up there so you can go watch what we had to say about Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates who are playing in the Confed and the Champions League out there in Africa. Now we focus our attention on the international landscape of football. For us, it's international because we're all the way in Mzansi and this is taking all the place all the way in England. I'm talking about obviously the Premier League. All of us are excited that it's back and there's so much for us to cover. Big games to talk about, and I've got one of the best analysts in the game, one of the best football eyes in the game, and you know what? He also can play. Goal scorer, star defender, you name it, he's done it. I'm talking about, of course, uThisha. uThisha weDiski. How are you, Chief?
All right, more.
100%. I'm at your pleasure, so boy.
Next please. I'm listening to the tags.
Yes.
That you're associating with me, yabo.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, you're spot on.
Give us a lowdown of what people can expect in today's episode. Obviously, we've got a few games to cover. What games are we going to be talking about?
Look, I mean, like you mentioned earlier on, we've been doing e-local, your Pirates and your Stellenbosch. Now we're going international, Baba.
Yeah.
EPL. I think arguably the best league in the world. We have in our first game, we have Brighton, who are currently at top of the log, versus Man United, the potential league winners. You know, and then our second game, we go to Arsenal. Arsenal, we know they finished second last season. This time they are battling against Aston Villa. Both these teams are playing in the Champions League. So both of them are contenders actually also for the league. Then last but not least, we go to Spain.
Yes.
The La Liga. We'll be talking about Barcelona with the first Atletico Bilbao. Lewandowski has done it again. He started 2 goals first game.
Okay. All right, so you have it right there. That's all that's going to be coming your way for today. Don't forget, if you don't have an account with us, you can go quickly to our website and open one, and you could stand a chance. See, that's the thing, competition-minded. If you go and open an account right now, you'll be able to take advantage of our promotion where you can get yourself a deposit match up to 5,000 Rand, and you can get yourself 500 free spins. So make sure to go visit betfred.co.za. For now, to the first game. Right, so let's talk about our first game. It's Brighton versus Manchester United. I just need to remind you that Brighton opened up the first match of the campaign with a 3-0 win against Everton, while Manchester United opened the entire league with the first game of the campaign last week Friday. And I don't quite remember what happened in that one, but I think United won by 1-0. But there was a lot of misses in that game. Not about misses. I'm meaning missing of the goal. So Tiskale lapho mfethu, what do you think of Man United from their first match in terms of the display that they gave us?
Look, I mean, Man United, at least one thing good about Man United, at least they got to sit on top of the log. They were number one. Overnight, yeah. Signs, Baba. Signs.
Yeah.
Signs, the number one. Looking at the menu, I mean, the first game, looking at the starting lineup, I was happy to see the starting lineup. I mean, you had the likes of Maguire. I was happy to see Martinez there, pairing with Maguire. In your center there, you had Umaino. You had Rashford also starting the game. You had Udailo starting the game, and then you had Fernandez, who was the target man for that game. Initially, when I saw the starting lineup, my worry was, how can you have Fernandez as your target man, as your number 9? Then you think back to the previous videos that you made where you started saying most teams now are not going for that direct number 9. They're checking your 10 and making them your target man. But you look at the score, 1-0. I wasn't surprised. You need a target man to score your goals. But United were actually lucky to get the maximum 3 points. I mean, they scored in the 87th minute. I mean, we thought, Man United has gotten a draw in the first game, and against Fulham. It should be worrisome if you are drawing against Fulham in your first game. You still have the likes of your Man City, your Arsenal, your Liverpool ahead. But then again, to be fair, it's a start of the league. So combinations, new strategies, they're still forming. So it's still early for them to panic. I mean, end of the day, they went over to get their maximum points. Get the maximum points in a minimum way. 1-0. Clean sheet.
Yeah. So let's talk about Brighton Hove Albion. Obviously, they faced an Everton side where I feel like they were very disorganized in that game. They scored some really good chances. Most of them were tap-ins. Most of them were crosses into the box. Crosses that were very low. Do you not think that they will be a big threat, especially with considering that Man United missed most of their chances? Will they have that luck to say, even if they miss chances in this game, they'll still walk away with the result?
Look, I mean, they put a stamp. They put up the hand. They put up the hand to say, are we here now to challenge for the league? If you remember, Brighton a couple of seasons back, they were actually contenders. They were actually contenders for the league. And then...
Under De Zerbi.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened,
McAllister left.
But even Pesitao left. Remember when Pesitao was still there? I mean, Brighton was doing wonders.
Yeah.
Wonders. They were guaranteed a top 8.
Yeah.
Then a couple of seasons, things are changed. I mean, but looking at this game, first game, 3-0 thrashing. They're the only team that was able to score 3 goals. You scored 3 goals, and you also keep a clean sheet. That's a great result for them. Look where they are now, top of the log.
Yeah.
They were wishing to stay there for a long time. I mean, they're ahead of Man City, they're ahead of Arsenal.
You sure they're not there based on alphabetical order?
No, it's not, but it's performance. Wow. It's the results. I mean, they went out there. It's the results. They got the maximum results. And now they're facing Man United. Man United. If you look at the head-to-head between these two teams, it's not an easy game for Man United. I mean, last season, they played twice, home and away. And what's ironic is the away team actually won the game. So they played 2 games. They won a game each. The away team always won.
Yeah.
We're coming to this game. Guess who's home?
It's a Brighton.
Brighton's home. So Man United are looking at this to say, no, we do better when we're away.
So are you not concerned? I mean, you're long term for Manchester United. They've signed Xerxes. He went in and scored in the opening game. They've signed what's this boy's name? The defender.
The defender who's injured. Unfortunately injured.
Yeah, he's injured. I mean, we've seen this before with Manchester United where they signed Omar Martial, came in injured. They signed the guy who used to play at Bailly, Eric Bailly. He came in injured. So you're not concerned at all that this is now a trend that's becoming, season after season. They make the signings, they bring the big names in, and then all of a sudden these players are injured, and it's still the same players who are expected to be, let's say, fringe players or rotational players, still playing first-team football for Manchester United. Are you not worried about that going into this game and going into the end, like the rest of the season, that United have this chronic issue?
It's very worrisome more. Like I said earlier on, when I checked the starting 11 of Man U in the first game, I saw faces that I knew when they started the game last season, the results were coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, bo? First game, same players are there. They fail to
Rashford,
produce
Bruno
your
Fernandes,
results. Even
Garnacho,
Casemiro. I'm a big fan.
Casemiro.
I'm a big fan of Casemiro. But after the first game display, it's worrisome. I think Man United must go and sign some more. They need that central midfield.
How do you motivate a player like Casemiro who's won it all? How do you say to him, to Sebenza to win a league? Because he's won everything. I mean, 5 Champions Leagues.
He's won everything. Another thing must be, you must win something with Man United.
He's won
if you're saying you have a Champions League, win Champions League with Man United, yes, he's won FA Cup. That's a start. Now gone for the league.
Let's talk about the coach for a second. Obviously, Ten Hag has a lot of experience now with Manchester United behind his name. He goes into the transfer window and he buys former Ajax players. Is that a reflection on him as a coach? Is that a reflection on Manchester United's budget? What's going on there? Like, why is he going for players he's worked with before? I mean, every transfer window he's linked with players that he's had before. And look at the likes of Donny van der Beek, who he found there, who he coached before. He left, you know what I mean? But now he still wants to get De Ligt. There's a few players who were formerly Ajax players. What does that say about Ten Hag when you look at that situation?
Look, like you said, it's players that he's previously coached and players that he's aware of. Look what happened. They went on to sign players like Abo Varane. Come in, he's injured. He knows little about him, comes in and is injured. He's got a problem. So rather get someone that you know. And it's better also when it's these youngsters. He knows he's got a couple of years with them. He can actually grow them to better. You look how Man United finished the last season. And they finished on a high. We cannot run away from the fact that they got silverware.
Yeah.
FA Cup. It's not easy winning an FA Cup.
But they
It's
could
one
have
of
been
the
knocked out in the
biggest.
semi-finals.
Yeah? They could have
been knocked out.
They could have. But it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish.
As long as you finish against
they
City.
survive. They
Yeah.
survive. You beat City. You beat one of arguably the best team in the world. That's an achievement on its own. It wasn't by luck. You come and you meet them again in the Community Shield.
And then you beat them again. Oh, you
No,
lost.
they
to
lost.
them, yeah.
They lost. But in the penalty shootout.
Yeah.
So they managed to contain them in the whole 90 minutes, but went over to lose in the penalty shootout. That game could have gone anywhere.
So let's focus back on Brighton. What do you think Brighton should expect coming into this game? Do you think that Brighton will dominate possession? Do you think Brighton will fall behind possession-wise? Do you think that Brighton will catch them on the counter? What do you see in this game before we go into the prediction?
Look, a very interesting game. Very interesting game. Like I said, if you go back to head-to-head, this game can go anyway. But with Brighton, after the display from the first game, they mean business. They mean business. And they will be wanting to kick Man United while they still can, because they're seeing there's many gaps at Man United. Man United, they haven't gelled as a team. Yes, they are league contenders, but to be honest, if you compare them to other teams, Man United has become like an average team now. But potential is there. So it will be better for Brighton. If Brighton is capable of getting the maximum points, it's time they get them now before they start heating up, before they warm up and the players gel. Abo Canacho, they're still going to do havoc. Once they gel. There's still a lot of football. Go Rashford. He's still going to do damage. I'd rather hit them now before they start gelling, because once they gel, there's going to be a problem. They're not playing Champions League. It's worrisome on its own for such a great team, for such a big team like Man United to be not competing. They want to compete there. And Man United, now they also know they need to start lifting the socks. If we're saying Man United won FA Cup, they must prove which it wasn't by fluke. They are a good team. Remember, for some time, we were thinking Man United is going to let Ten Hag go.
Yeah.
He put up his hand to say, no, guys, there's still a lot I can actually do for Man United. That's why he's on. Now we must prove why he's on. Let not the shareholders regret keeping him on. Now you must prove why he deserves to be there. He's got the players more. He just needs the combination. Get psychological right. Let the players know the meaning of that badge, of that menu badge. History. Man United is rich in history. God, imagine they must prove. We cannot keep on saying Man United did this during the Sir Alexin reign. It's time. Let's move on. We cannot talk about things that happened 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
We need that silverware now. Man United should be competing in the Champions League.
Yeah.
For such a great team, they have everything. They must prove now.
All right, let's go down to your prediction, because obviously you're passionate about United at the moment. What do you think will happen in this game?
Look, it's for Man United to win, man. Man United's got to win this game. But it's never an easy game. I say a very tight game. But I trust Man U. I'm giving to Man U. Man United win.
All right, you heard it here first from uThisha weDiski saying Manchester United to win the game. Stay tuned as we move on to talk about Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Right, welcome back. Let's continue the conversation. If you're just joining us, don't forget the first chapter we spoke about Manchester United's game against Brighton. That was a very interesting conversation. The teacher gave us his predictions. And if you want to hear more about that, just go back, click on the previous chapter to watch that. Now we continue, obviously. We're not talking local as like on the Diski preview. We're talking international football, and we are talking about Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Obviously, Aston Villa win against West Ham in the opening day. A lot of people thought that it was going to go the other way because West Ham signed the likes of Fulkrug, and people were thinking that Fulkrug is going to come in there and score all the goals. But Aston Villa, again, a team that's resilient, a team that's been overlooked with a world-class coach, who's won the Europa League multiple times. He's giving that team an edge now in terms of the performances that we've seen from Aston Villa. But what do you think is going to happen against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal when these two teams meet on Saturday?
Look, Arsenal currently find themselves on second position. I don't want their position. It's a curse. I'm sure it hurts them. Second position. They don't want that position.
Alphabetical order.
Here's performance, Baba. Now they're facing Aston Villa.
Yeah.
What a display of football from Aston Villa season.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins. We're not talking about Aston Villa, not mentioning Ollie Watkins. He had a superb season last season. He'll be looking to add on to that. I mean, he was there in the Euros. He did fairly well. They didn't get much game time. I mean, England has a hurricane. But Watkins is there. To say, I can be the next target man. Also, they've signed Onana. He came in. He scored the goal against West Ham. Difficult game they had against West Ham. Yes, they had an early goal, and most people thought, okay, Aston Villa has done it now. West Ham gets a penalty, back level, 1-1. Aston Villa now must prove why they're playing a Champions League. I mean, this is the battle of the top 4 from last season. Aston Villa is playing a Champions League. They were not there by luck. They fought for that position. They're meeting Arsenal. Arsenal has been known to, always finish in the top 4. But it wouldn't be an easy game. It's going to be a very, very interesting game.
So let's talk about Arsenal for a second. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is still the head coach there. Players like William Saliba are still there. Your Sakas are still there. Gabriel Jesus is also still there. There's been time where we thought that Mikel Arteta was an up and coming coach. Now, I mean, we're 4 seasons in, and it's the squad he got when he arrived. Abo Lacazette, Abo Aubameyang have all left. Abo Granit Xhaka have all moved on. This is now his team. This is now the players he wants to work with. Do you think that this is the season where we see Arsenal coming to what we expect them to be? Because right now they've been runners-up for a few seasons now. They've been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Do you think that this season is the season for Mikel Arteta to make it work or to go?
For this season, it's very difficult talking about this season. For me, reason, this season is one of those seasons whereby we didn't hear of any big signings. I mean, no huge team has, no team has like a huge signing, where we're all talking about. So it's basically a thing of we're
Except
building
Real Madrid.
From Mbappe.
Yeah.
Mbappe. Quite looking at this EPL, there's no like major signing. So it's basically fixing your mistakes from last season. Yeah, so with this season, it's open. It's widely open. The league can go anywhere. Arteta finishing second a couple of times. I mean, like 2 seasons in a row. That's worrisome. It's now time for him to actually lift the trophy. But it's also worrisome if you think of Tottenham. Remember, Tottenham had that thing of finishing second.
Yeah.
But then one season, they go and finish like 5th. After that, things have never been the same again. Now we don't talk about Tottenham finishing 4th. So it's Arsenal. It's there for the taking. Gotta mind, it becomes difficult when you still have the likes of Man City in the picture.
What you just said is so poetic because the opening game of the season for Tottenham Hotspur was against Leicester. And that's the team that they raced to the title against, and Leicester actually won it. But back to this conversation now. You're saying something very important there because for Arsenal fans, the conversation was, the problem was Arsene Wenger. You understand? Remember when the fans were protesting against Arsene Wenger, they were saying that he's not the right guy for the job. They need some change. Then they got in who's coaching Aston Villa right now. They've damn, I forget his name.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they got him, and after they got him, they went for Mikel Arteta, who was an assistant coach at Manchester City, and they got him into the top job. So for Arsenal now, I mean, the fans must look back and reflect and say, are we better off from the position where Arsene Wenger left us, or are we still the same team that Arsene Wenger left behind? Yes, the players have changed. Yes, the coaching staff has changed. But results-wise, I mean, Arsenal was still playing in Champions League football. Arsenal was still playing Europa League football under Arsene Wenger. So have they gone forward, or are they still stuck at the same place? They're not. Are they a better team? Are they still the same team results-wise?
No, let's be honest. Arsenal, they have moved forward. There's a big improvement with Arsenal. The major problem is what City's doing. City's doing the thing that can be done.
They're making the pause to happen.
They're making the pause to happen. So if you just look at the points, how many points Arsenal actually accumulate. The amount of points Arsenal are able to accumulate in a season. A championship points. You deserve to actually win the title with those points. You look at the difference between Arsenal and the league winners, which is Man City. It's always less than 5 points. I mean, 2 points. It's 1 game away. Whereby Arsenal, they just failed in the last minute. One slip up. The way the league is so competitive, you make one mistake, you draw a game or you lose a game, title is gone. And you know when Arsenal actually lost the league last season?
When?
Against Aston Villa. 5 games to go. They played Aston Villa. Aston Villa beat them. League title gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Now they meet them. So soon. Second game in the season. They meet Aston Villa. Now weigh yourself. Go in and thrash. Leave a mark. Don't beat them. Thrash Aston Villa. To show.
But you don't want to thrash Aston Villa, man.
Thrash Aston Villa. Prove yourself.
You don't want to thrash Aston Villa, Chief.
Thrash Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
To prove yourself. And if you look at like I mentioned, Abo Onana and Abo Watkins, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. But also now, that gives you a measure. Where are you? You're playing Champions League. That measures where are you? Are you competing for a Champions League, or are you there just to add numbers?
All right, Tisha, let's go back. Let's go straight to the prediction here. You've You've said what you have to say about this match. Who do you think is going to win it?
Look, Saka, I was happy to see Saka no Havertz last game. Goal assist. I'm expecting Saka to do the same thing again coming to this game.
Score a goal.
I'm giving to Arsenal.
You're going to give it to Arsenal with Saka to score.
Saka to score.
100%. Let's keep the train going because now we have to go to La Liga and talk about some Spanish football. It's Barcelona versus Athletic Bilbao. Welcome back to the Diski preview show. Don't forget, we just touched on some English football. We spoke about Manchester United. We spoke about Arsenal taking on Aston Villa as well. Now we move on to La Liga, where Athletic Club will be facing Barcelona. Barcelona obviously winning their opening game. Athletic Club also, I'm not sure, did they win the opening game?
I think Club, who did they play first game? I think they drew.
Ne?
I think it was one of the first games they drew.
Yes.
They drew the first game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think who are they playing. They drew the game 1-1.
Yes.
Yeah, they drew the game 1-1.
You're being. I realize that he's being sneaky because he wants to talk about Barcelona. He's not really into this for the Athletic Club.
You asked me before more which teams I'm
Or
looking forward to.
you want to talk about the rivalry between Yamal and Nico Williams? Is this why we're here?
Yeah, man. What does sikhuluma ngeteam enkulu face? Sikhuluma ngeteam enkulu, iBarcelona. iBarcelona is a team to look out for this season. If you look at the log, yes, it's the first game, but they're sitting on top.
I know.
And they were looking to stay on top for the whole season.
Okay, so fine. Real Madrid drew the opening game. Barcelona's top of the league. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay this way for the rest of the season.
No, I mean, Barcelona and Fana, it's there for the it's there for the taking now. Stay there number one forever. I told you Barcelona is this season more.
Yeah.
If you look at Barcelona,
but I've heard rumors that Gundogan has to leave because of financial fair play.
In fact, I was very disappointed listening to some of the Barcelona fans, not actually giving Gundogan the medals that he's supposed to be getting. Gundogan, in fact, he did fairly well. He scored some crucial goals. Yeah. He was there for the assist. He was very influential there in the mid. Yeah. Now, the biggest mistake, what they want to do, is you cannot have, yes, I'm for youngsters, you need that experience. Gundogan is your Rodri. But Man City, you need Gundogan there. If you're going to let Gundogan go for the youngster like Olmo, terrific player. He's excellent. But he won't carry the ball like Gundogan has been carrying the ball. Who's going to lead those guys there in the mid? You cannot expect the young guys to do that.
So how's Barca's formation going to look now with, wait, hold on. How's Barca's formation going to look now with the inclusion of Olmo? Because I've heard Frankie de Jong's leaving. I've heard that Gundogan is also leaving. So now it leaves the question of these two. Hold on. Chief, why don't we just put another channel there so long? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. You just cut it this out.
Yeah, I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to continue.
So I've been looking at Barcelona and doing some research. There's rumors that Gundogan is leaving. There's rumors that Frankie de Jong is leaving. So how will that midfield setup look without those players? Would it just be Pedri Gavi with Danny Olmo playing number 10 with a double pivot? Or what's the plan there? Because also don't forget, they still have Lewandowski playing up front next to Yamal.
I'm hoping Gundogan doesn't go. Letting Gundogan go, that would be the biggest mistake.
But apparently he's going back to Manchester City.
I'm hoping with those rumors, just stay as rumors. I see Barcelona is in a good space now.
Yeah.
With Gundogan there. The plan is with Gundogan there. Gundogan is the one that's going to guide these youngsters. I'm a big fan of Ukav. I'm a big fan of Pedri. I'm a big fan of Yamal. But they need a leader in the center. We cannot expect Olmo to do that. So you need Gundogan. If you replace Gundogan, who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to bring in? At least if De Jong wasn't leaving, you'd say De Jong would come into that role. But he cannot do that role. So what's going to happen now? All these youngsters, number one, biggest problem, I'm injured. They're being killed apart from injured, so you cannot rely on them for the whole season. A player like Ukav, a player like Pedro, he plays 3 games injured, 2 games injured. Gundogan, you know which Gundogan played 95% of Barcelona's games. Now you want to let him go.
You don't have a choice. Financial fair play, boy. Or you also want to take a 10-point deduction.
Yeah? No, man. There's players you can let go.
Because even Thiago Alcantara went there to join Hansi Flick. He's now back in Liverpool as well.
It's a big problem, man. It's a big problem.
So Athletic Club, made the decision to give Nico Williams the number 10. Do you think that he deserves that number 10? Not. I mean, obviously, after the Euros, I know people will be like, "Oh, Mo Yatlanya, what kind of question is that?" But is this guy the guy? Is he that player in the league? Is he that player for Athletic Bilbao? Is he the main man?
He is the main man. He is the main man. I just feel, Ugusi, that's why I was saying it. I was hoping Ugusi Barcelona will actually go snatch Williams so that he can join teammates there at Spain. Yamal, Barcelona. They would cause havoc there. Williams, for him to be selected or go represent Spain in the Euros, he performed at Atletico Bilbao. We knew about Williams before Ama Euros began. And if you're going to go prove yourself or give that display Ama Euros in such a big international event, it shows that you are a quality player. We actually is. You've proven yourself. Number 10 for Bilbao, you deserve number 10. Bilbao, it's actually it's a big team. Bilbao. Even if Barcelona themselves, they know. Bilbao is a dangerous team. You look at ICAP to see how dangerous Bilbao is. They have this thing of, I don't know if it's luck or it's what, but they
always
often
win
meet
the cups.
They meet Barcelona, especially they meet Bilbao in Copa del Rey. They met them last season. Do you remember the results?
Or the result was Athletic Bilbao win
4-2.
Yeah,
even though it was extra time, but they won 4-2. So that's fresh in the minds of Barcelona, man. That's the team Yashu. Now we need a way to beat this team. And they do have the players. So it's going to be a beautiful game. Because I know, as usual, if Barcelona, their play will revolve around Yamal, Diski. On the other side, opposite, you have Williams. Pega. Both these two guys are wings. They play their wings and they have your target men. Both these two players with target men. So Yamal must make those runs, do crosses for Lewandowski to score. Same thing, opposite end. Williams must do the same thing, make those runs, make crosses for the strikers to score. So it's going to be a beautiful game. It's going to be those, we attack, I attack, you attack, I attack. I'm looking forward to a beautiful game. And in Barcelona, it's been a while now since they got silverware. It's been a while since Barcelona done well in this world stage. Champions League. When last do we speak about Barcelona in the Champions League?
it's been a while.
To take the league, it's always Real Madrid. It's about time now Barcelona shine. And I told you, Uguchi, in Barcelona, they were fortunate. Uguchi, they didn't do like major signings. Like they don't have a signing like Mbappe at Real Madrid. That signing at Real Madrid of Mbappe, it has put pressure on Real Madrid. Real Madrid drew the first game against Mallorca.
Yes.
It's like everything now comes to a standstill. Why did Real Madrid, everyone now is panicking? What's happening at Real Madrid?
But guys, come on, after one game.
Have that, yeah?
But after one game, guys.
If you're going to draw against Mallorca.
It's Mallorca, but yeah.
Mallorca.
Yeah.
If you're going to draw.
It's Real Mallorca. But let's get back to this. They won the Super Cup. They won the Super Cup against Gasperini's
Atlanta. I think Atlanta won the
the Europa League.
Europa.
I was thinking about that. If Liverpool had beaten Atalanta, then we would have seen a final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. It would have been a very interesting. Arne Slot versus, you know what I mean? But let's get back to the facts here. Fine. So they win the Super Cup against Gasperini's Atalanta. Bear in mind, Gasperini was an underdog. No, Gasperini was an underdog against Liverpool. Gasperini was an underdog in the final against Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso. They go into the Super Cup. They're underdogs again. So fine. Real Madrid wins that game. Mbappe scores a goal. They go into the first game of the season. They don't win it. Now everybody's acting like they're falling apart. Why is that? Why do you guys feel like Real Madrid have fallen apart after just one result?
Not too much expectations for a team like that. In fact, if they win,
but doesn't mean they're going to be invincible.
We're now expecting them to win every game.
But doesn't mean they're going to be invincible.
More, it gets tough. As games go by, you meet tougher opponents.
But also
so collect your points now. If Barcelona carry on, if Barcelona, let's say, go on to win all their matches, I know it won't happen.
With Hansi Flick in mind.
They'll be there number one forever. So now, Real Madrid, you look at log. Real Madrid, I think, it's the first game. God, I think they're number 16. Catch up, man. Now they must climb the ladder. You're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself.
Chief, it's one game.
Yeah?
It's one game, Chief.
It's important, Baba. You need that head start. It's important.
But also,
you're going to have tougher games. You know when the season starts. Now you start playing other trophies. Sacrifices must be made now. You must rest your players now. If you don't have enough points already in the bag, it becomes difficult now to rest your players. Do you expect? Let's be realistic. Do you expect Rodri, Mbappe, Vinicius, no Bellingham, those 4 to start every single game?
Not every single game.
So if you cannot get results with those 4 guys starting the game, now it becomes a problem. If you check the draw, you're Real Madrid, ne? All those 4 guys were there. They started the game, but they drew against Imaloka. So now to question the depth.
This brings me back to last year when we were still discussing this thing on round tables. You talked about individual brilliance. I spoke about systems, structures, and shape. Now, Real Madrid has all the names, but they failed to win the opening game. So who's at fault? Is it the system and the structures, or is it the players, the individual brilliance?
It's the players.
Thank you. And we end it there before you disagree with me. Let's see.
It's the players. It's the players. I know Mbappe now must prove. If you watch Mbappe, he wasn't that Mbappe, man. That sharp Mbappe. That you know. Also, I always said ego yabo.
Yeah.
Because Barcelona.
Yeah.
But Barcelona is expected to do wonders this season. You know, if Barcelona fans, I see them doing well. Champions League, if Barcelona, I see them going all the way, maybe to the semi-finals. So it's their season.
Guys, remember the last team we said is going to go all the way in the Champions League was Orlando Pirates in the CAF Champions League. Where are they now?
They're playing. I think it's second leg. They're playing second leg this weekend.
But where are they now?
They're going through. Oh, but that's the second leg. But go through to the next round. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. I'm more
so
spoiled.
I'm
I'm happy. This weekend we are spoiled.
All right, fine.
Yeah,
this weekend we are spoiled.
Games. I was spoiled.
Yeah,
We are spoiled.
let's do our prediction recap quickly before we wrap it up. So,
Yeah,
no,
or it's obvious because Barcelona.
Okay, fine. What is the prediction?
Not for Barcelona.
Barcelona win.
Barcelona
Now,
win.
prediction recap. Now let's start again. Manchester United versus
Brighton.
yes,
Brighton versus Man United.
Yeah.
Man United win.
away win. Okay, fine. Arsenal, Aston Villa,
Arsenal win.
Barcelona Athletic Club.
Barcelona win.
All right, thank you so much for joining
When you
us this
see,
week.
man, when you see.
Mina.
Man U versus Brighton.
Man United versus Brighton draw.
Straight draw.
Yeah, straight draw. No
BTS
goals
draw.
even.
No goals.
No
Not
goals. Not.
Okay, and then we go to the
You're not even
second
gonna ask
game.
me why.
Aston Villa
Okay,
versus Villa, not. I think Man United in a strike. we go to Aston Villa versus Man United.
Aston Villa versus
Sorry, not versus Arsenal.
Aston Villa versus Arsenal. I also want to say draw in that one, but I'll go for both teams to score. I'll leave it as that. Both teams to score.
And
Yeah,
the last
I
game,
think that's also a draw.
last game, Barcelona versus Atletico Bilbao.
Barcelona versus Athletic Bilbao, I think is going to be a Bilbao win.
Bilbao win.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. It's going to be a Barcelona win.
Barcelona
The last
win.
thing you want to do is bet.
Yamal and Lewandowski win. Lewandowski 2 goals first game.
The last thing you want to do is bet against Hansi Flick. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, ne? All right. To our viewers, leave your comments. What do you say? Do you disagree or do you agree with our comments? I personally am giving the team straight win. No arguments, no doubt. Man United, Arsenal, Barcelona straight win. Umo Ikwala is going for the draws.
Draw,
0-0 draws.
win Barcelona.
Hey, imagine basing on that 0-0 draw. That's a brave result.
What? Or the 0-0 draw against with United and Brighton. No, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
First 5 minutes and Fernandes has got a penalty.
score?
It's a goal.
Who's going to score?
Yeah,
Who's gonna
Fernandes.
score? Fernandes.
Captain.
Number 8.
Captain number 8.
Number
Captain
8.
Fantastic.
Let me explain this to you watching. Number 1, Man United are like Everton. They only perform against Liverpool.
Okay.
They only perform against Liverpool.
Okay.
Now also we can say Man United performs against City. Those are the only 2 teams. Give Man United and Erik ten Hag anyone else. You can give him. You can give them Leicester City, newly promoted. Nas, they'll struggle.
We'll see more.
But you see that one?
What are 2
Nil-nil
points?
draw.
The points are going to Trafford.
And the thing is
Old
with
Trafford.
the thing is with Arsenal, the issue is that the coach they're facing at Aston Villa is their former coach. He knows them inside and out. Mikel Arteta also, I like him so much, né? But these players are no longer new. Everybody knows what to expect against Arsenal. Everybody knows how to counter-attack Arsenal. Everybody has seen Arsenal do this for 3 seasons.
But they still know Saka, and Saka's still scoring.
No, but still.
They know Havertz.
Still.
Havertz is still assisting.
Saka is like the same Saka we saw at the Euros.
Still scoring.
But how many
Not
minutes?
Euros.
How many minutes must you give him?
Not Euros.
Look at this. You give Diogo Jota 60 minutes, he'll get you a goal. You give Mo Salah 60 minutes, he'll get you a goal. You give Trent Alexander-Arnold 60 minutes, that's even too much. He'll get you an assist.
You give Saka 90 minutes, he gives you an assist.
You give Saka 345 minutes. 345 minutes. You will still not find a goal. Oksalayo. All I'm saying is,
we'll see.
Draw.
We'll see more.
Draw.
We'll see him final. Next week, we'll see next week's two predictions.
Bet on 0. Draw.
Let's see. I'll see Vale.
All right, thank you guys for joining us again. We will be back again next week. Next week is going to be a big one because we've got the last club games before we move on to the international break. That's going to be what's called UEFA Nations League, and we're also going to have some CAF African Cup of Nations qualifier. So stay tuned next week as we wrap up the MTN 8, and then we go Bafana. And they're facing Uganda, by the way.
Yeah, some interesting names. I saw they go preliminary squad. Bafana.
We'll talk about that next week.
It's always nice.
Bambazela, boy.
I'm fine with sport. I'm fine with Diski.
Bamba, boy.
All right, I see Vale.
Shut up.
I see Vale.